Welcome again, our viewers, to today's teachings on the Rock channel. My name is Reverend Dr. 𝗧𝗵𝗽 𝗔𝗀, your host. I hope you have been blessed by the teachings that are coming your way so far from this channel. Remember, it's a channel that is founded on the belief that a life that is established on the principles and values of the Word of God is a life built on the rock. On that rock will stand the inevitable storms of life. We've been bringing teachings across your way on marriage. In our last teaching, we discussed about the different states of the mind that exist in marriage. We saw the intimate state of mind, the conflict state, and the withdrawal state of the mind. And today we want to look at the love languages. You may have heard about this before, or this is the first time of hearing about it. There is a language that is spoken in marriage, and it is called the love language. The driving force of every intimate relationship, whether physical or spiritual, is the emotional state of the spouses. You know, the idea behind this teaching on marriage is to profile an alternative, to bring out an alternative to divorce and disengagement that is rocking our homes today. And the solution we profiled is intimacy. Intimacy is a state where couples live in understanding, in love and fun, and happiness. They do things together. And what we're saying here now is that the force that holds marriage together, the force that makes marriage to move together, is intimacy. It has to do with the emotion of the spouse. When the emotion is suited, is well, is good, everything in the relationship will be good. And if anything goes wrong in the emotional state of the mind, then things will definitely fall apart. So emotional intimacy is the engine that propels all other forms of intimacy in marriage, whether physical intimacy or spiritual intimacy. The emotional intimacy is the engine. Couples enjoy physical or sexual intimacy and spiritual intimacy when their emotions are intact and flourishing. So without the emotions of intimacy, a marriage relationship becomes dry, frustrated, and wasted. So as part of the strategies to develop a love-filled, fruitful, and enduring marital relationship, there is a need to discover the power behind speaking to one another as spouses in love languages. In order to build this emotional state of the mind, in order to create an emotional atmosphere, an intimate atmosphere in the relationship, there is a need to develop a kind of language, a way of communication where couples can speak to one another in the language that they will understand. And this is what led to the discovery of love languages. Intimacy depends or demands expression of love. If I say I am intimate with you, I will show it by loving, by showing love, by demonstrating love. So love is the bedrock of all of intimate relationships. Without love, there will be no intimacy, and automatically the marital relationship will be almost zero. Couples that desire to enjoy intimacy must be ready to exchange love, commitment, care, respect, and all the behavioral dispositions which enhance confidence and togetherness. Love in marriage needs to be communicated, and communication is coded in language. If I say I love my wife, I need to communicate that love to her. I need to speak and act in a way that she will understand that really my husband loves me. So this is what we're trying to discuss in this chapter, how to communicate your love to your spouse. And so we call it the love language. So love language therefore depicts the communication of love from one spouse to the other. Having love in the heart to someone without expressing it is as good as not having it at all. So there must be a way for me to demonstrate my love to my wife. Much of the troubles that are evident in marriages today can be traceable to improper expression of love or inadequate communication of love between couples. Most of the things that prompt bickerings and quarrels and fighting and separation and divorce in marriages is because it's not really because they don't love each other. The love may be there, but they don't know how to communicate that love. They are speaking in languages that they don't understand. I am trying to show my love to my wife. I want to let her know that I love her, but I'm not communicating it in the language that she can understand. I'm not using the right dialect. I'm not speaking to her understanding. I may think that she's understanding me, but at the end of the day, I discover she didn't really see any love from me because I was not communicating. And so this is one of the things that are breeding troubles in marriage. Improper communication, improper expression of this love to one another. Languages are peculiar to communities or tribes, cultural lines or nations. Each community has their language or their dialect that they understand. They speak it to one another and they understand it among themselves. It takes one who is from a certain locality or race to understand the language that is spoken by people from that race. I am an Igbo man by birth, by culture, by language. If I find myself in the midst of Yorubas, in the midst of the Hausas in Nigeria, or among the French, or people from Portugal, people from Brazil, all these are people that has some different languages, I will be lost totally. They may be saying something that really means well to me, but because I don't understand what they are saying, I will feel either cold or angry with them. So in like manner, love has language, and inside it are dialects. Spouses that want to live in the appreciation of care and love from one another must strive to learn and understand their love languages and dialect for effective communication. If I need to live well with my wife, and if I also want her to understand me and me understanding her, we need to learn each other's dialects. There's a dialect that she understands, and there's a dialect that I understand. She must find out my own dialect and speak to me in that dialect, and I should find out her own dialect and speak to her in that dialect. By so doing, we will be having positive communication. There will be understanding. If I'm speaking a dialect that she doesn't understand, it won't make any meaning to her. It will be like pouring water on the rock. And the same thing, if she's speaking a language to me or using a dialect in love to me that I don't understand, it will just be zero. So this is very important. Using a dialect or language of love which your spouse cannot understand is equal to not communicating at all. So it is important that we discover each other's dialect. Those in this state, misunderstandings that come from the pathway of not appreciating what love that was expressed has left many marriages broken. Those in this state that are still standing and wallowing in nagging, distrust, emptiness, gloom, the need to feel loved by one's spouse is at the heart of every marriage. There are people that have divorced because they didn't understand one another. Their case may be over. But those that are still in marriage and who are going through nagging, frustration, quarreling, fighting almost every day because they don't understand one another, there is still hope. They need to really understand one another's dialect will go a long way in resolving a whole lot of conflicts. So there is something in a man's nature that cries out to be loved by another. Love is a need. Love is something that everybody yearns for. Everybody wants to be loved and also love. And so we must try to, fulfill this need in the lives of our spouses. The love language phenomenon operates as the different expressions that individuals, especially couples, crave for in an attempt to fill their emotional tanks. We mentioned this emotional tank or the love bank when we are talking about the intimate state of the mind. And we are coming to see it now in full force or in its full explanation. Emotional tank is a reservoir in the heart of humans where treatments or gestures received are stored. Every human being has what we call emotional tank, where you preserve all the treatments that you receive from people. Now, since we are talking about marriage, the man has his emotional tank, the woman has her emotional tank. Every treatment the woman receives from the husband are stored in the emotional tank of the woman, and vice versa. Now, it operates in this way. If I buy a gift to my wife, she will turn that gift into what is called love unit and then deposit it in her love bank. That is, keep it in her mind. The same thing, if she buys me a gift or show me love or show me respect, I will also turn it to be a love unit and store it in my tank. This is the positive aspect. Now, if she does something bad to me, instead of storing it in my account, that bad thing she did will rather remove one of the good ones she had done from my account. Now, let me still try to make it simpler. Love languages are the different ways of communicating to your spouse to show him or her that you love her. They are demonstrated in form of goodwill, good treatments. And each of these treatments is converted to the currency called love unit. It is this love unit that is stored in the love bank. So whenever you do good to your spouse, you are depositing a love unit in her account or in his account. If you also treat the person bad, if you do something bad to him or her, you are removing from the one you had done, from the one you had stored before. So I have just tried to give us in brief how it operates, so that as we go on in describing and explaining, you will now really understand. So each person has an emotional tank, and our reactions to one another are based on the content of that tank. If there are enough love units in my tank, that is to say, my wife has done so many things that proves to me that she loves me, it will make me to want to reciprocate and treat her well. The same thing happens to her towards me. So the content of our emotional tank plays a very big role. It's one of the determinant factors of how we react to one another. And so in this particular topic we have started, we're going to discover those love languages, the different dialects that are spoken in marriage, and then how to turn them into love units so that your spouse could be having enough deposits in his or her emotional tank or love bank, so that the atmosphere of that marriage could be very sweet. In our next teaching, we're going to begin to look at these love languages. Before then, if you have not subscribed to this teaching and you are blessed by what you are hearing from this channel, please do subscribe. Share these teachings to your loved ones. Many people need to discover these silent truths and these secrets of success in marriage. You'll be helping somebody who is about to break off in his or her marriage, and you'll be helping those that are entering to know how to play their game well when they enter into the field. I pray to God of heaven and earth to keep your marriage and to cause it to flourish, with you and your spouse has roles to play. And that's why we bring this teaching to you. Until our next teaching, God richly bless.